This wind has been absolutely crazy so far today. Has to be some of the windiest conditions I've ever been out in. I feel like I'm being pushed back by the wind. I have to walk twice as fast. It is mental. Welcome back everyone. We have just left the Glen car park here in the Cairngorms National Park, and we're heading to a remote spot high up in the mountains with the hopes of spending the night and climbing some of the mountains in the area. Come along for the adventure. It is super windy today, which you can probably tell. These trees are getting flung about, but luckily the trees are actually providing protection for us. And we are heading in this direction. Let's do it. So we are planning to hike about a 25-mile route, which takes in 4 new mountains for me, including the second tallest in Scotland. And we're setting off pretty late. It's actually almost 6 o'clock at night, which is a very late start for us. So we'll maybe do, I don't know, hoping to do maybe 10 miles today and then the rest tomorrow. You can always rely on the Cairngorms for some good tracks though. Absolutely munching up the miles on this. First river crossing of the trip. Luckily there's a nice little bridge to get us over there. And I believe this is the Louis water, just winding its way towards the mountains. Beautiful. This wind has been absolutely crazy so far today. Has to be some of the windiest conditions I've ever been out in. Luckily we're in a bit of a sheltered spot right now, so it's not too bad. But tonight's camp could be interesting. There's a wee building here. I think the estate must use this to store gear and stuff like that. But look at this wind. Crazy. Just blowing these trees. Insane. The reason we started so late is we decided to make dinner before heading off, just to fuel us up for this hike. So we found a nice spot by a river and made some burgers with bacon and cheese and everything. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, it's definitely fueled us up. Putting in the miles now. We're still following a really good track, which is making this a lot easier. But I feel like I'm being pushed back by the wind. I have to walk twice as fast. It is mental. It must be gusting like 30 or 40 mile per hour down here, and this is fairly low down, which means it's probably like 60 on the tops. Oh man, I would not want to be up there right now. Yeah, these lower down paths, sheltered by the trees, are nice and peaceful, and I don't think we're too far from our camp spot. Should be just up ahead. Right, we've come across a little woodland. This could be very promising for a camp spot. Oh, I tell you what, this little spot in here looks absolutely perfect. If I can get by those bushes. Look at that. So flat. Just chilling. Don't blame them. Look how calm this is in here. Can't even tell it's windy. So quiet. And right there looks perfect. Looks like other people have had the same idea. It is so peaceful here. Well, we have pitched the tents and they're looking good. And before I get everything inside my tent sorted, I'm going to show you around because we really have lucked out with our camping spot. So here are the tents. Just a perfect spot. Nice and flat and sheltered from the trees. And just over here is a little river. Yep, here we are. So the perfect water source. And it's nice and peaceful as well. You just wouldn't know it's windy unless you looked up at the trees. I mean, we just got so lucky. Look at that. The tents are just hardly moving. I think I'm just going to chill out and enjoy this for a while. Well, I have just been enjoying the views for a while and it is just super peaceful here. But we have lost the sun, so it's getting a little bit darker, and because of that it's getting a little bit colder. So I think I'll head back to the tent and get everything set up. What about this, by the way? We couldn't have picked a better spot if we tried. We're really close to the Munros we're doing tomorrow. We're sheltered from the wind. It's nice and peaceful here. And we've even got a water source which is right next to us. I've actually been to the river and collected water, and it is some of the freshest water I've ever seen. I've got some squashies that I'm going to munch on since I've already had dinner. If you've never tried these, the strawberries and cream one, absolutely unreal. And I'll just listen to the sounds of the wind hitting the trees. It'll probably send me right off to sleep. Quick check outside, see how we're looking. Yep, the sun has well and truly gone down. I think it is bedtime. Night everyone. Well, good morning everyone. We have packed everything up and we're good to go. And as always, we've left no trace. You always want to leave it clean for the next person that comes along. We couldn't really have asked for a better spot there, to be honest. That was absolutely perfect. So this was our spot last night. My mate Thomas was camped right there, and I was camped just there. Absolutely perfect. And you might be able to make the path out just through there. I think I saw someone going up it. So let's do it. To the mountains. First we need to cross this river, to be fair. Looks like my mate's already done the hard part. Let's see if I can find a way across. Oof. That wasn't actually too bad, and I think we're heading up those steps. Nice wee stepping stones across the river. Man, I am glad to make it over that river without getting my feet wet. But let's continue on, onwards and upwards. I feel there's going to be a lot more elevation today than yesterday. Yesterday was a fairly gentle walk, and today we are heading towards those mountains in the distance. The thing is, these mountains look so far away, but because the paths are so good, I don't think it'll be long till we're up there. Look at that view though. Amazing. Uphill early in the morning is not what you want in your sandwiches, especially with this big heavy bag. But we're making good progress. So I don't think this is the top just up here. I think it's just a shoulder and the top is slightly further on. But we can see where we camped now, just down there in those trees where the river is. Not a bad spot, isn't it? Well, we are on the home stretch, not far to the summit of this first mountain, and our old friend, the wind, has decided to join us again, which is a little bit brutal, but I'm guessing it's just because we're a lot higher up than we were this morning. Oh, I can see the summit cairn, just where Thomas is. So close. Well, here we are, the first top of the day. This is Cairngorms. Touch the cairn. Views up here are insane. Just down below us is the Larry Grue, but you can't really see it. That is the Devil's Point over there, which actually looks kind of small, but it's really impressive from this angle. And then all the way in the distance is the huge Brayrook. Those corries look amazing. As good as the views are up here, I don't think we're going to hang about. We've got a huge day ahead of us. This is pretty much just the start of the hike, so I think we'll continue on. So we are just making our way along this little ridge here, and there's steep drops into the Larry Grue. Looks amazing. And a few weeks ago I stayed in a bothy that was just in that glen, just into the left, which is pretty cool to see. But our next stop is the second tallest mountain in the country. I tell you what, it is still really windy today. It's currently gusting about 30 miles per hour, so you can imagine what yesterday would have been like. This is half what it would have been. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not out in that. Well, here we are, second summit of the trip. This is Ben McDowie. Huge cairn here. There we go. Right, I think we'll have a break and enjoy these views. We can see the mountain we've come from now. Looks miles away. Cairngorms. I suppose it is miles away, to be fair. And then, yeah, the visibility is just great today. This place is something else. So this is the second tallest mountain in Scotland, and I definitely felt it on the way up. That was pretty tough. A lot of elevation, but we've made it. And yeah, I'm so happy with the visibility. We've really lucked out. But I think I'll try and find a sheltered spot from the wind, and we'll have something to eat. This is absolutely perfect. These shelters up here just protect you from the wind. I'm not sure if this was a house. I don't think so, to be honest, because we're so high up. But I think we'll have a wee break and get something to eat. Got some pork pies. Absolutely unreal, these. So I'm just going to munch them and then we'll get on our way. We are back on the move with 2 out of the 4 summits done, which means we're halfway there, and it's only 12:30 as well, so I think that is pretty good going. The next one actually looks pretty close. It is that one in the distance with all the tors on it, but I think it looks closer than it actually is. So yeah, let's get to it. It is actually pretty warm when you're not in the wind. I think it's like 19 or 20 degrees Celsius, which when you're hiking, it does start to get pretty toasty. This route ahead is downhill for a little bit though, which is really nice. We're basically dropping all the way down to that loch just there, and then that is the next mountain. So pretty much just head straight up there. Doesn't look too bad, and it won't be long till we're at that loch. Right, now the uphill begins. We have made it to the loch, and what a spot to camp that would be. I think there's actually someone camping just there, but we have dropped the bags just by those rocks because we're coming back down here, and now we need to make our way up this. It looks very steep. Oh yes, here we are. We have made it to the summit of the 3rd Munro of the day, Ben Vion. I am so glad to be up here. I'm currently stood on top of a giant tor, which is the true summit of the mountain at 1182 metres above sea level, and there's not much room to move about up here. I'm not actually sure how tall this tor is, but it feels pretty tall. That is quite a big drop down there, but the views are something else, as they have been the entire day, and I think that might be the final one just over there. Oh, there is a perfect wee seat here, and it's just nice to take a seat, to be honest. We've put in a lot of miles today, but yeah, the views up here, they are amazing. I'm not going to take them for granted. Get it, granite tor. That's probably the worst joke you've ever heard. I am really sorry. Let's get up to this 4th Munro. Oh, well, here we are. We have teleported to the 4th and final summit of the trip, Derry Cairngorm. Wow, that was tough. I wish we actually had teleported. That took quite long. It's quite late in the day now. Man, it is windy up here, but we can now see the full route we've done today. So we started all the way down there where those trees are, up to the top of that hill, Skura Vame, and then round here, up Ben McDooey, all the way in the distance to that one, and then back here to the summit of Derry Cairngorm, and then we're heading down in that direction. We've still got about 8 miles to hike today, so we're not going to hang around. We are going to continue on, and also the wind up here is crazy, so it'd be nice to get a little bit lower down. A little bit of a boulder field to get over before we can get down. This is ankle breaking territory, but we'll get a little bit down and hopefully out of the wind. Well, we have made it back into the peaceful woods and away from that horrible wind, and what a perfect place to end the trip. We've now just got a 3.5 mile walk back through the woods to the Glen Car Park, which is where we started. So I think I'm going to end the video here, and what an amazing trip it's been. 4 new Munros for me as well, which takes me up to 198, so I'm just 2 away from 200, which is amazing. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.